gardeners would always have the great intentions and they want all of the plastic containers that your plants come in to have a second life.
The annuals would come 9 or 12 in a block, and it was styrofoam.
I love shopping.
Yeah. They're heavily fibrous, they're dense, the leaves aren't easy to rip. You see people shucking corn, and it's like all...
I think this is a way for local greenhouses to stand out.
The Helpful Gardeners, the podcast that digs into the buzziest plant trends and news you need to know, regardless of your growing zone. Colin is a skilled horticulturist with decades of growing experience across Canada. Brandy is the greenest of green thumbs with a love of asking questions. Welcome to our Garden Nook.
Can you believe there are only 3 Saturdays until the first day of spring?
Yes and no. I want to believe.
You don't trust in it.
We're Calgary. Are we in second false spring?
When is construction zone season?
Exactly. So, I want to believe, but we've been burned before.
Yeah, I know. And this is the thing. I don't care what the groundhog says. I don't care what, the Farmer's Almanac says. I'm like, the what is it again? The solstice?
Yep.
It's
the equinox.
The equinox.
Solstice is summer and winter. Equinox is spring and autumn.
Spring and autumn is equinox. Okay.
Yeah.
So the equinox coming up. I'm like, okay, March 20th. Great. Sounds good. That'll be it.
Hey, you want to hear something totally kind of unrelated but cool? So our summer solstice, we get plus or minus a few minutes more, but about 16 hours of sunlight that day. Our winter solstice, we get 8 hours of sunlight.
Okay.
And then the spring and the fall equinox is 12 hours of sunlight. And I looked up a few other places and nobody else's math works that cleanly.
Wow.
I'm like, go Calgary.
Hey.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that is kind of cool.
That's my story.
No, I like that actually. Hey, more sunlight. I'm all for it.
Yep.
And it gets us closer and closer and closer to gardening season. And if you hadn't tuned in on our episode about the Great Depression garden, I will link that down below. But essentially, we went through and we're naming some of the sort of forgotten crops that were grown during the Great Depression. And we said, okay, let's buy some.
Yep.
And we did. And so they actually came in. We're so excited. We got them from I will link that down below as well, because they specialize in more rare types of seeds. And so what did we get today? So we have, this is like a seed haul unboxing.
I didn't put them in the same order as my papers.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay, so we have earth chestnuts.
Yep.
And I had to print off the instructions. They didn't come with any. They came in these. So you know how we've talked before about how to store seeds?
Yep.
And we've talked about little envelopes.
Hey, they're doing it.
So that's right. So great for the recycling or the compost bin.
Yep.
Bam.
There you go.
So we have earth chestnut seeds. And then there's my write-up on my earth chestnut. So I nerded out and I printed everything off because that's how I do.
We should put this on the blog.
I love the look of it and I love the name. So Freckle lettuce.
Freckle lettuce. It looks so cool.
It really does. It almost looks ornamental.
It does.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like, you know what?
Oh, sorry.
No, I'll be honest. If I didn't know that this was how it was supposed to be, I think it would be covered in pests.
I thought the same thing.
Right?
You know what? Same thing. I'm like, that could very easily be mistaken as pest damage or environmental damage.
Yeah, but then when you know it's intentional, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, you just know it's the freckles. My favorite name, the skirret.
that has got to be the one I'm most excited about.
Yeah. Skirret seeds.
Yep.
So I got too enthusiastic during the unboxing. So, a proper pack. And
you ripped open. I mean, they really are efficient with their packaging.
It happens.
Yeah.
I'm saving that one till the end.
Okay. Wait, what's cool about the skirt though? Because you were talking about how it's a perennial and it needs stratification.
Yeah. So you got to freeze the seeds.
Yeah.
So that one's going to be tough because I got to get on that one right away because they need to be frozen for 45 to 60 days.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I gotta jump on them.
But thankfully, that's kind of a vegetable that we should be able to direct sow, right? Once it's...
I think so, yeah. It outdoors, direct sow in early spring when nights are cool. The hard part with these ones, the soil likes to be cool and moist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, pretty much the exact opposite of a Calgary summer.
Yeah, we're really hot and dry.
Exactly. But challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted. If there's anyone that can do it, you can.
Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you for the vote of confidence. The thing is, too, is that if I mess these up or something happens, I am hooped because I can't even go to the farmer's market and be like, look at my skirrets.
Look at these some that I prepared yesterday.
Exactly. So I got to go hard on these. This one, I love the name. It shout out to our friend Maiko. It sounds Italian. Scorzerone. These are the ones you said you didn't quite like the.
Yeah. So for anyone listening, this one looks like a carrot, but it's all black.
Yeah.
Like it looks like that black fungus you'd find on a tree.
You know what? Now that you said that and I look at it, I understand what you're saying because it almost looks like one of those, black branches, but it's bright orange inside.
Yeah.
I'm super excited for these. Mm-hmm. But you know what I really love about this one? Fun thing. They are highly resistant to pests, including slugs.
Huh.
Game on.
Companion planting?
Yeah. This one to me, it freaks me out. It looks like a weed. It's a spinach. Great name. Good King Henry.
Good King Henry.
Yeah,
it does look like a weed though. Hey,
it really does. But apparently it's a spinach-like one.
Yeah.
So a lot of these, I have areas in my garden that are very suitable to grow them. I've already planned it out.
Hey, okay.
Yeah,
sounds
so
good.
I know where they're going. And then probably the one I'm most excited for. It looks like the illicit love affair of a rose hip and a cherry tomato. And it's called the Jaltomata. Jaltomata.
See, that's so cool because this wasn't one that we had talked about on the episode, but they had it and I couldn't help it.
Oh, yeah. Maybe we should talk about that. So on the episode, I think we talked about, 5 or 6. And then when we were done, we said we were going to buy like maybe 3 types of seeds. And then you got me 6.
Okay, cool. But here's the thing. They were so affordable. Like I thought, so when you buy like a rare houseplant, like they could be up to $100+.
Oh, easy. Yeah,
I think one of these seed packets was like 4.
Yeah.
And
cool.
Not bad.
I love how you're like, it was only $4 and I will enjoy all of this come the end of summer.
I know. I do no work. It wasn't even my credit card. I just went, yay.
Yeah, you're running with this.
I love shopping.
Yeah. But I'm really excited
so cool.
to get these going. So
yeah, so this is going to be our project through 2026. So make sure you're subscribed to the podcast because we'll be checking on this throughout the spring and summer. And then I think by the end of it, not to put too much pressure on the project, but I think we should bring in a harvest and actually try them on the podcast.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's kind of cool. I'm going to pop that episode down below. And today we're going to be talking about this article that I found in the Greenhouse Canada magazine. And it was all about sustainability in the packaging.
Oh, cool.
That is coming up into, whether it's, garden supplies or seeds or even like those little, those like little 4-pack containers. So when I was doing cashiering downstairs, the main thing that would always happen was gardeners would always have the great intentions and they want all of the plastic containers that your plants come in to have a second life. But Calgary, at least, wasn't really set up for recycling of that kind of container.
A lot of those even now shouldn't go in your blue bin.
Yeah, exactly. They have to have like a number on it, right?
They have to have a number and the plastic has to be a certain grade and weight. I don't know that part. I just know that they're not recyclable.
Well, exactly. And they're just like, what?
Yeah.
They're going to go in the garbage? Like, and you can't really, like, what are you going to do with a 4-pack? Yeah. Empty 4-pack? Like, really?
I mean, you could... I'm like, you could keep them as if it's something like bizarre. I keep mine because they really do make good seed starting pots.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But if you're buying your plants, there might be a good chance that you don't grow from seed.
Yeah.
So what do you do?
Yeah.
Like there's a small percentage of us that'll keep them. It has improved. Like I remember back in the day and oh my God, it was gruesome. The annuals would come 9 or 12 in a block, and it was styrofoam.
It was styrofoam.
And you have to break it open, which releases all of the gases. And
really?
Now, we figured out a way to give it a second life. Mm-hmm. So we would use it in big pots.
Yeah.
We would put the styrofoam in the bottom so you didn't have to use as much soil. It added drainage and whatnot. But it was still a ridiculous amount of styrofoam.
Yeah, because styrofoam, like Do you know how long it takes to break down?
Like way too long.
Like decades, right?
I think less than plastic, but with styrofoam, if memory serves, I haven't looked this up in a while. Breaking styrofoam releases toxic gases like greenhouse gases. So, and the only way to get the annuals out was to break it.
Yeah.
And then even if you managed to get your hand and tap it out, well, the moment it goes in the back of a garbage truck.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So it's constantly being broken and smashed. So they upgraded to a very lightweight. And one thing I will say is, as far as I know, and I don't know much about that side of the industry.
Yeah.
And I want to hear more about this. I didn't read this article, so I definitely want to hear more. I'll quickly finish with this.
No.
A lot of those pots are made. The reason why they're so thin and crappy and can't be recycled. They've already been recycled. So they're not using brand new raw plastics. They're already using recycled plastics to put them out there. So they actually are a kind of a second, third life run.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's still plastic.
I'm just thinking about our greenhouse and about, you have the plant pots themselves, but then they also come in the plastic trays because you have to be able to carry, I can't imagine not having the plastic trays, right?
Yeah.
Because you'd be one. Like it would take so much time. Yeah. And then if you had to move them, right? And then you think about the little plastic tags that go into each pot, and that has all the instructions because, and I have found that not all plants will come with that sort of identifier tag anymore, but it is still a good portion.
Yep.
And it's just all of this plastic that's going around. And yes, some pots have done really well and they have that number on them and you can recycle them in your bin program. And that's amazing. But what's cool is that the greenhouse industry is really working to create more sustainable packaging. And thank goodness, hey?
Love that.
Because that's sort of the root of a gardener, right? They are looking for more sustainable, more earth-friendly things.
100%.
What was it that you said? Like the earth-friendly products in our store are some of the more popular ones.
And it's not a fad. This isn't like, where something comes out and everybody jumps on it and then 2 years later it's forgotten about. That it's not fidget spinners. It has been steady, sustainable growth. And the real way you can tell is when you see a number of companies starting to bring in more organic, more clean lines. Because these big companies, they react to market demand. And if people are demanding organic, clean, that's what they're going to provide. So it's been, from my side, seeing this growth of lawn alternatives, predator bugs, organic choices, sustainable choices. I'm like, oh, you're checking all my boxes here.
Yeah, because what happened what was it, Starbucks or one of the big fast food chains, and they were confronted being like, your straws are doing this to the environment. And it sort of encouraged them to really look at different ways of packaging their product.
Wasn't it the little plug things you put in the Starbucks cups?
Oh, I think so.
It might have been.
Yeah. I don't know.
Don't want to trash anybody.
But I know that there was sort of this thing about the lids and it's really expanded into the whole market. Even when you think about compostable cutlery nowadays and dishware and that kind of thing. The technology is out there. It's just now the greenhouse and gardening industry is catching up to that.
Remember back in the day, maybe you don't. I've got to stop asking these questions.
Every week.
I'm like, it comes out and I'm like, son of a bitch. McDonald's used to come in styrofoam packets.
Oh, gosh.
Your burger came in.
I can hear it now.
Yeah, like those clamshells that you get your spinach and stuff in? It was those, but styrofoam for your Big Mac and your cheeseburgers. And it was like, oh my. And now they all come in wax paper.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. And then you've got other fast food joints where every single thing is not every single thing, but 80% of it is compostable. 15% is recyclable and 5% is landfill.
Do you think there's ever going to be a time where fast food restaurants are going to be like, bring your own container and then you just hand them Tupperware and then they put your meal in the Tupperware?
I'd be down with that. I don't think a lot of people would because you're like, have you ever seen the people leaving the grocery stores?
Oh my gosh.
I've been guilty of that way.
Yes.
You run in for one thing and you're like, oh, that's on sale. Oh, I got to get that for Jenny.
Yeah.
And then you get there and you're would you like a bag? So you're like, no, I've got 12 in the Jeep.
Yeah, exactly. Of course. Of course. Yeah. It's great for when you're taking it into the house, but in the meantime, you look like an idiot. I also thought, oh, that'd be so cool if you could go into a greenhouse and instead of buying things out of plastic containers, it'd be cool if you could buy like sort of like order off a menu and then they go and bring it to you and it's all like in plugs and then they, put them in like a cardboard container or something like that. Oh, that would be so cool. Maybe we'll get there.
A vending machine.
Ooh.
G7 geranium.
You know what though? I don't know. Cause I like the experience of walking through a greenhouse too. It's the sights, the smells, the sounds, it's everything.
I know for a fact one of the greatest things, and it is for me, but I've spoken to enough people and I've seen it and we always show it when we do CTV. Mm-hmm. That day you come in when Jeanette has ordered all of the annuals and the tables are full. Yeah. Name a better site. Like that to me is like one of those definitive markers of spring. Mm-hmm. Ooh, we should put that on Springo.
Ooh, I like that. Ooh, speaking of, we are creating Springo. It's bingo, but for spring. Yeah. If you couldn't put 2 and 2 together. Springo. So watch for that coming up on our social media and we'll talk about that on the podcast coming up.
What are they coming out with then?
So they're coming out with, for example, mushrooms and fungi.
What?
Are now being explored in new packaging.
That was not the first thing I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to say like compostable or hemp.
Sorry.
Just straight out of there.
With mushrooms.
Cool.
I don't know how, but they are looking at it.
Interesting.
And I don't know why that would be. Like our mushrooms, I mean, we have the mushroom blocks and they grow pretty quickly. So maybe they're just looking at that.
Certain mushrooms might be very like kind of almost leathery, but they'll break down. Because the problem, I would think, and again, I will have to read this whole article because I'm very interested. I don't know if they mention it. They must. Yeah. But like, so the coffee I buy, the pods and the bag the pods come in are 100% compostable.
Yes.
Not biodegradable, not recyclable, compostable.
Yes.
But everything is dry until the coffee pod goes in the machine. I got to feel that some of those products, if you put plants in them and it's somewhere where it's warm and wet, you'd go to pick up and it would be disintegrating in your hand.
Yeah, that's a good point. I would almost wonder if they can find a material that would disintegrate in X number of time, So this packaging has a 3-month shelf life, but we don't have to worry about that because we'll be packaging them up, shipping them out, and then they'll be planted in that time period.
I wonder if anybody's doing anything there with like bamboo.
Yeah, that could probably be. How long does bamboo take to biodegrade? Well, I mean, it does. So.
It does, exactly. Yeah, and it 100% is compostable.
Yes.
It grows ridiculously fast, so it's heavily sustainable.
Yeah.
It's very fibrous. So because the other thing is as well, and this is why I understand when you're doing something like fast food or bags of coffee, all of that remains dry and room temperature.
Yeah.
We are talking about bringing things that are going to be handled a lot and face extreme heat and extreme moisture.
Yeah, good point. Yep.
So it's a hard target to hit.
Yeah, it's not just like, oh, this is going to be in a controlled temperature fast food restaurant, right? It's like, no, this is going to be put through the ringer.
Like I could understand if it would be a lot easier for, say, a fertilizer company. If they have a dry, water-soluble powder,
right?
You could put that in a compostable thing.
Yeah.
Because it's not meant to get wet until you're putting it in the water-soluble, much like a coffee.
Good point, yeah.
Right? Normally it's in a more climate-controlled area. Mm-hmm. So I could see that happening. Yeah. But actual plants, that really is a challenge.
Plants for that. So bio-based sustainable packaging is starting to be looked into. So made from renewable natural resources like corn or potatoes, some types of plastic are based on sugars or sugar cane. It's important to consider that
I thought bamboo, you're like corn, mushrooms.
So that's the thing is I haven't seen bamboo even mentioned in this article. However, I mean, they do say that they're looking at like, cardboard-like materials, experimental phase.
And I've never considered this. This is why I love articles like this, because even though we're not part of it and nobody's ever going to ask my opinion, I'm probably never going to do anything with it. But when you think about corn and you think about how fast it grows, the size of the plant, have you ever walked through a cornfield? Like those plants are tough.
Yeah.
They are real. They're heavily fibrous. They're dense. The leaves aren't easy to rip. You see people shucking corn and it's like full flex to rip it.
Yeah.
How much corn do we grow in Canada?
Yeah.
We pull the cob off and then the rest, goes thrown in the compost? Great. It's in the compost.
Yeah.
But why can't that get a second life, then go to the compost?
Mm-hmm.
So if I go in right now, last year, I did not look at who the grower was of the annuals I was buying.
Yeah.
Because they're all in the same packaging. I was looking at the color and the health.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, that would change me. If I went in and these 40% geraniums of all the geraniums we've got, this cluster here, we're all in sustainable packaging, that would be my first stop.
100%. If there was like a section for that kind of packaging and then that's where you went, and the only way I think it's going to really catch on is if it's cheaper to produce, right?
Yep.
Because I mean, at the end of the day, it's business and that's what it'll all come down to.
Yep.
So I think it will take a good mix of how can we make sustainable packaging less expensive, and also how can we get people to raise enough noise that they want this? And
I do think there is room. I really believe this as somebody who shops this way, and maybe I'm a minority. I know anecdotal evidence is the worst evidence you can ever have. I wouldn't mind paying a little bit more. If I'm paying a little bit more, knowing that, so a lot of the products I use, I know it may not look like it, but I do actually put stuff in my hair. But the product I use, and one of the reasons why I use it is because it is cruelty-free and third-party sustainable cruelty-free. That means they won't buy their bottles, their packaging, or anything if that company isn't sustainable or tests on animals.
Yeah.
So when I buy that product, it's a little bit more expensive, but when I buy that product, 100% guilt-free. I can recycle it when I'm done, and I know that they minimized as much impact as they could to get me that product.
Absolutely. And also, I think this is a way for local greenhouses to stand out. Yep. When you talk about the local greenhouse versus the box store,
Very valid.
What can a local greenhouse offer? And it's like, that more environmentally focused, like they care a lot about like the entire picture, not just the cost of one plant. So it's a lot to look into. I'm really excited, and who knows, maybe in the next little bit, depending on how quickly this will, blossom, maybe we'll start to see, renewable resources used in packaging. It's really cool. So I'm glad that they posted an article about this in the magazine. It was just great to read.
Great magazine too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. But in the meantime, we have other fish to fry. We got to get going on these seeds.
Hey, nothing ventured, nothing gained.
I love that. Okay, tune in next on Wednesday where we get a little chance to throw the episode at your way. So make sure you drop your questions in the chat below and over on Instagram at The Helpful Gardeners Pod, and we'll see you then.
This podcast is brought to you by Golden Acre Home and Garden. Find seasonal inspiration for your home and garden in Calgary, Alberta year-round. Visit goldenacre.ca. The comments and opinions expressed by the Helpful Gardeners on this show are our own and do not necessarily reflect the views of Golden Acre Home and Garden. For more information on everything we covered today and to leave us a voice note, visit goldenacre.ca/podcast. The Helpful Gardeners are on Instagram at The Helpful Gardeners Pod. Keep on growing, gardeners!